And Chelsea. Good evening, everyone.
with some big breaking news. So many of you have been asking, so the campaign's behind you, school year is coming up. What's your next step? What are you guys doing? So I wonder why you'd ask. So could we have a crazy next step? Well, we do have some big exciting news to break. And so I think we got folks that are now joining us. So
Hey, guys.
I want to thank you all for joining us wherever you are across our social media platforms. But we do have some breaking news. Should we just jump right in?
Yeah, let's do it.
So should we tell them right away?
I think we should kind of tell them like a little backstory.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, little backstory. So, our family has been talking about, and well, since we started, let me go back to actually, it goes back a little ways. And I'm going to kind of make this quick. She's going to jump in, we'll go back and forth. And then we've got kind of two big pieces of breaking news to share with you. But when I was 18 years old and trying to decide what to do with my life, I made a big decision that I'm so grateful for, that is still impacting our life and so many people's lives as well. And I decided to start a business. I became a distributor selling some health products that turned my mother's health around. And I did it for a couple of reasons. One, I felt guilty if I didn't share the products because it had made such an impact on our family. And second, I wanted a career that would give us freedom and would give us impact. And had given my life to Christ at an early age. And Paul the Apostle, talked about using our freedom, not for ourselves, but to serve others. And so I really wanted freedom, and I wanted impact. And, that as I was making decisions, even in the coming years after making that first decision to start a business at 18 as a promoter for an international company selling, again, health products that saved my mother's life. At the same time, a couple years later, I got some other opportunities came along, and I was offered to met Bubba Cathy, the owner's son of Chick-fil-A. And I was blessed to have a neighbor who owned one of the top real estate brokerages in the country and was retiring. And in both cases, I was offered, hey, would you like to be mentored? Would you like to come on board with Chick-fil-A corporate or Chick-fil-A store? In the other case, it was, hey, do you want to come on board and take over a thriving real estate brokerage? And we're retiring next year. And in both cases, it took me back to, okay, what do I feel God's calling me to? What are some of the things I want in life? And I wanted freedom and I wanted impact. And one of the reasons I wanted freedom is I wanted to be able to go anywhere in the world. And you can probably tell where this is leading, but anywhere in the world to be able to serve, to either, if God wanted me to be a pastor one day or a missionary one day, I wanted a business that would support us to go anywhere. So at 30, we thought we were going to Bolivia to work with a friend building orphanages. And God just kind of just said, no, you're going to go here. And I ran for state house. And we won a campaign that was just a miracle. And it was a privilege to get to serve our state. And then from there, some of you know, I was asked to join corporate for that same company in a corporate role. And Chelsea and I were like, no, we like freedom. But it did have impact. And we got a privilege to get to be a part of turning around the North America market. And it's been an amazing last 9 years. It's also been a very busy last 9 years. And some of you know, I ran for U.S. Senate last fall, and I resigned my corporate position. And I took some time, though, to make sure that transition was smooth. Got some great people that came in. They're going to take this company to a whole new level. So that leads us to where we are next, right?
Right.
You want to jump in on that?
Well, yeah. So I guess definitely the experience of running for U.S. Senate. We were just so thankful for that time, especially as a family, because we did it as a family. And one thing that we both feel is like the burden and what we see nowadays does not change for our state, for our country. And so, one thing that, Josh and I have always focused on is marriage on mission. And that is what our, I guess, decisions have all been based on, is like, how can we as a couple grow stronger, dream together? We see, so many, in corporately, whatever it is, not going towards the same mission or having those same dreams. Not that that's bad, but for us, we knew that as a core to keeping that family together. And when we were on the campaign trail, that was the biggest thing, is we saw that families were under attack. Our children are under attack like never before, with just indoctrination, the pressures of really the American and the first world lifestyle, and the pressures of just I loved our sermon yesterday. It was on not how much can we store, but how much can we pour. And so that burden, I think, is even grown bigger over this period of running for U.S. Senate for those 7 months and really, just seeing where we are. And so, that's what we do is based on how can we have an impact to strengthen families, to encourage families to get beyond just that normal American westernized lifestyle and do something different, be something different. And I think it's probably what all of us experience, like what is the change that we want to see here, and all. So for our family, we have talked about for a long time learning a second language, Spanish, and we know that to do that and to do it for all of us, it's probably total immersion into a Spanish speaking country. So we've decided.
And it goes back actually to our early days of marriage
Yes.
again, as we were talking about when Stephen was born, that we really want our kids to learn Spanish. And I ended up serving on the board of a Spanish Bible college for over a decade. And just our heart has grown more and more that we just more and more determined, even though we haven't learned Spanish yet, that we want to learn it. We started, I guess about 8 years ago or something. We were on a date and we were talking about doing a cruise for the members of our business, our team,
the families we get to work
the families
with.
we work with.
Yeah.
And then we said, what if we did a mission trip where we took families on a mission trip to serve? And so we started what we called Serving is Living. And it's a whole God story, how all that happened. We were looking at a bunch of different countries, and then it's crazy. It all came together with Costa Rica, Jaco, Costa Rica. And there's a whole story there. But anyway, my son and I went on a scouting trip, and God just pointed us. We started somewhere else. We ended up somewhere else in Jaco. Then for the last several years, we've been taking families to serve together. And it's been an amazing experience. And it's been our desire to move over there for a year to be able to serve together, learn Spanish, work with our mission partners. So that, you guessed it now, that's the one big piece of news.
Yeah.
That we got two I want to share with you. But one is we are moving to Costa Rica as a family. I say as a family. We just checked our son, got him set up in college at Lee University. He'll be coming on break, so we're excited about that. But the rest of us will be moving there on, Lord willing, we've bought our tickets on September 7th. So September 7th, we get there. We have a house for the first 2 months. And then after that, we got to find a place.
Yeah.
But we're going to be, and that kind of leads us. You want to jump in?
So as I mentioned, like our marriage we've always made decisions on how can we be on mission together as a family and bring the kids along as well. And so Josh shared starting now 25 years ago, we've been with the same company. Our passions never died. But as we were looking back at, especially like the past 7 months, now almost 9 months, because we haven't done much, past campaign. We've been recovering and getting caught up on some other stuff. But this opportunity, or this business that Josh started when he was 18, so 25 years ago, not only have we experienced like these amazing benefits with health, and that right there is the beginning of, everything. If you have your health, you can enjoy life.
Health
so
as
what
well.
is all this that we work towards, our jobs, savings on, for retirement, if we can enjoy it, if we're healthy. So we're very passionate about that. But the other thing we're excited about is that with Josh having quit his corporate job, and he's not going back.
And they told me I was welcome to come back if they can't, after the campaign. And we had some other incredible job opportunities come our way, but leads into what you said, that we said no. I said, no, the best place to be is as a promoter right now. We believe with the way the company is growing, with the incredible corporate team now that is leading us forward, we're more excited than ever to be working with our team and helping them get freedom, helping them be able to do what we were so privileged to be able to do, where we felt called to run for U.S. Senate. And what was going to pay the bills? It was our business, our own business that you've been managing it. You've even been growing it while I've been busy at corporate for the last 9 years. Yeah. And now we're back to that.
Right. And so, really, it's like, okay, we cannot not share this. And, we know it's not for everyone. We know God brings the people exactly that we're supposed to work with, the families who need that financial freedom or just that extra 500 or more. For Josh, it's been a very part-time job job. I hate even saying that because we never feel like we're working because we're with family and friends all the time. But it's a full-time income. And when we can take off our 9 months and our paycheck stays the same, we can now when we go to Costa Rica, thankfully, we have this business that we can do from anywhere. But
we're building it online.
We're gonna be
Anywhere you have
building it
Wi-Fi,
online.
we're building. By the
And
way,
so-
we're not in Central America and we're not
Yeah.
in South America. One day down the road, years down the road, we're looking forward to that. But we're going to be building from Costa Rica part-time here in the United
North
States
America,
and in the other
yeah.
50 plus countries around the world. Just so happens it won't be there.
Yeah.
But that's what we love about again, back to freedom. And that's what I saw with Chick-fil-A. As amazing as that company is, I was like, that was the big decision thing. I was like, we can't just go to another country and take our business with us. You can't, how do you take a brick and mortar Chick-fil-A as awesome as it is with you? Can you make an impact? Yes, but you didn't have freedom.
Right.
And that's what we have now. So we're going to work part-time, as Chelsea said, enjoy a full-time income, but we're going to work part-time because we want to help our business partners. The company is growing like crazy right now. And we want to help people be able to do several things. So we're going to do this, and we come back to that, but part-time, we're going to work with our mission partners down there. We've been asked for me to help out with writing a curriculum called Business as Missions, which has always been our heart.
Yes, I love it.
Business as a
Yeah.
mission, living out our faith out beyond Sunday, living out in the marketplace. We're going to be helping out with the surf club with kids. We're going to be helping out with, they have a pregnancy crisis center. They have a homeless program. So many things are going on. We're going to be bringing teams and organizing teams. We want to bring more people within our business to Costa Rica to experience, serving is living. But a couple of the reasons why we're so passionate. And then it is that we want to, there's just several things. Chelsea mentioned help people with their health. Yes, we want to end the trend of poor wellness, chronic disease, diabetes, diabetes, half the adult population. But even more than that, we're passionate about helping develop leaders, teaching leadership from a biblical perspective, growing every day in our business, become a better version of ourselves, a better marriage, better people. We love that. We also, right now, what's happening to our country, I feel like network marketing, if it's done correctly, okay, if it is the most powerful, fair business system, I also believe it can save America. That's a big word. What do I mean by that? Well, small businesses are under attack like never before. Look at Amazon swallowing up all these businesses, literally. Let me tell you, this next recession that's coming, you're going to see even more of it. There's been so much money pumped in the economy. We don't even know the full repercussions of what's been happening the last couple of years. But it's been a major shift in our economy. A lot of small businesses are gone and are gone forever. And the next downturn, we're going to find out the full extent of that. Well, health and wellness is growing more than ever, needed more than ever. And so we are excited about also helping people be entrepreneurs, helping them grow as an entrepreneur like we've been blessed to have. And then let me go further. More parents than ever are concerned about earning a little extra income to put their kids in a private school, or extra income to have a plan B. What if you get canceled because you speak up? I saw this on the campaign trail. People who dared to say what they knew was true, but many aren't because they have no plan B. Like they're literally afraid. What if I speak up and I say the truth? If I acknowledge what's really happening, what if I get kicked out? What if I get shunned? What if I get canceled? What if I get fired? Well, guess what? What if you're like, we've been blessed to have a plan B that when I quit my corporate role as a vice president here in North America, then I still had a business to fall back on. I want people to have that plan B. What if their industry is changing so quickly, they find themselves, they're not equipped for today's economy? Do they have anything to fall back on? Do they have anything that gives them freedom to be able to make some adjustments and go in a better direction? And I know for a lot of people, this would just be part-time, but it could be full-time. It could be way more than that. It can be whatever people want it to be. So maybe you're even listening and maybe this message wasn't for you. As far as what we're doing in our business, we want you to pray for us, please. Pray for the mission in Costa Rica. I want to tell you a little bit more about that in a moment, but pray for us as we're the exciting juggle of working part-time in our business, working with our business partners to help them get a piece of the exciting growth that's happening, but at the same time, get to serve with our mission partners and get quality time with our family. We're looking forward to surfing and serving and exploring Costa Rica as a family. So,
yeah. So another part of the journey that we'll start to kind of more share is God has blessed us with a beautiful place on the lake,
yeah.
Lake Lanier. And it's going to be really fun for the kids to learn another kind of business or, how you can use what God has given you to use it, not to store, but invest it, steward it so that you have more to pour. If you guys understand what that means, don't store it all for yourself, and give. And the more God blesses you, the more I hope we all give. And so we're going to take this beautiful home that many of you have been to. I see so many on here that have been to one of our events, and whether we're hosting a cross-country banquet or a basketball banquet or a birthday party or is something else. I mean, there are so many things, or our family weekends with our millions of family members. But we wanted others to have a neat experience out here on the lake. So we're going to Airbnb this home. And a little nervous because, right, it's your personal home. But you know what? God calls us to just kind of let go, right? And we've learned that in our moves across from Georgia to California, moving and living in a bus for a year from 2017, 2018. We sold everything. And so we hold on to things very lightly. We can't take anything with us. And so going in with that mindset, because the kids, I'm like, we're just decluttering, get rid of it, right? And so they are. And
in 100 years, I like to say, will it matter?
right.
Not to mention 1 year, 5 years, but 100, it puts everything in perspective for
exactly.
me. Will that matter? No. So, the impact we make in people's lives, that's all that matters.
So we'll be journeying or sharing that journey of getting the house ready, which does require a different kind of, not too much of a different setup, but kids' twin beds are going to turn into kings. So we've already got a couple of those setups, and just taking before and afters and sharing that journey, because we want it to inspire you guys to maybe think about things like getting out of your comfort zone. I remember years ago, we inspired a very dear friend from us living in a bus and saving, just kind of launching ourselves ahead. You can do
spending quality time with our family while I was working. We had a crazy intense year as we were leading up to our company's 60-year anniversary. And we said, okay, we don't have to compromise our family to fulfill this mission we feel like that we're on. Exactly. So that's why we moved into the bus. Yeah. And it was a crazy pace, but we were all together, snug as a bug in a rug.
Exactly. Tight quarters, but we grew during that year, and it was such a sweet year. And then, of course, here comes a campaign, and we're back in the bus with all the kids at a much higher pace. That was definitely, God worked on a lot of our hearts, and it definitely brought us closer together in a different kind of way. So, but what I wanted to say is, inspiring a friend to get out of that comfortable lifestyle. And I feel like, one thing that we see health as a struggle in our society. And that's really, I think, takes a toll on our energy and how we can serve God. But we also see wealth financially. That is taking a huge toll, not just on us personally, but our marriages. And so we have a friend who has moved into a trailer because we challenged them. Get out of your comfort zone, get rid of the expensive rental and do that. And they are loving it. They're on their third year. They've paid off tens of thousands of dollars of debt. They're back on their course. They're launching, themselves ahead. And it's just so neat. So, in doing this, I want you guys to look at it as
dream yourself.
Dream.
I know it may not, it probably is not Costa Rica. That's okay. We're not asking him. Maybe it is, but
maybe it awaken some dreams in your life. Like, okay, man, we've got one life. We've got one chance with our children. I mean, sending our son off to college last week was like, no, he was just in kindergarten. He was just playing t-ball. What happened? But Josh and I were just kind of reminiscing over the years. And I said, hon, and you always wish you did more, right? But I said, think of the intentional trips you've took with him, scouting out the mission trip, taking him on mission trips, going to a father-son camp, investing in them in something eternal, not on the next video game. That's one thing that we've kept out of our house, things like that, because that is not going to enrich their future. It's not going to help them grow as a person. It might be satisfying something inside them that God gives them just slightly, but is it giving them the full experience that he has? So I hope this inspires you, like so many people in our life have inspired. Yes. I mean, we have a family of 11 who just moved into an RV from their beautiful home in Montana. And we're like, that's so inspiring. And they inspire us.
And they did that many years ago, just like our friends.
They did.
When to get ahead when they were several children. So this is their second time,
So-
but now they're traveling for the sake of being together as a family and exploring. Yes.
Yeah. So I just hope that, it inspires you guys to, awaken those dreams that you had as a little kid. Maybe that's what it's all about. It's like, oh, I remember when I was a kid, I was going to sail around the world or whatever it is.
And don't be afraid to be different. And don't be afraid,
And
as Chelsea
be
said, to take a
different.
risk. I mean, yes, there is some risk in what we're doing right now. Airbnb this out, counting on this to pay the mortgage. Thankfully, we don't have debt except for real estate debt, but we do have real estate debt, which, with our business, we're setting a goal. We want to pay off our real estate debt. But there's risk, but life is one big risk anyway. The biggest thing is, are you willing to take the road less traveled? What are your goals? What are your dreams? Like you said, do you have a plan B for your family? Do you have an opportunity to earn some extra income where you can make a difference, make an impact, provide some amazing experiences for your children? Maybe you want to go to Costa Rica on one of our Serving is Living mission trips. Starting a business, maybe it's our business, maybe it's a different business, but it gives you freedom to go do what you want to do, just that extra income. I think plan Bs are really important today now more than ever.
And what a dear friend of ours, he always says, get off your rusty dusty. And that's it. Sometimes it's hard, to actually, I think, do that. I mean, for me, there's so much to do before we leave. It can get overwhelming, but it's like, okay, you just kind of got to chip away at the block. What is those daily tasks?
One step at a time.
One step at a time. And that's the same concept with building our business. It was one step at a time. And then it's the compound effect. It's everything in life. It's not you go to the gym and get fit. You eat one healthy meal and get fit. You decide to go to Costa Rica for a year and you're there. No, it is challenges along the way that are going to build character. Our kids have learned so much character lately because we're having them clean the property. I mean, they were out just sweating and built a fire. We're collecting sticks all over the property. They were not that happy about it, but we know there's a verse that I've been sharing with them. And it was so neat to hear the pastor share it because it's a verse I've shared over and over. It says, with all labor, there is profit, but with idle talk comes ruin. And I'm like, man, that is so true, right? And if we let our kids just veg out in front of the TV, that's idle talk. There's hardly anything profitable or worthwhile besides maybe educational history and documentaries. And I'm speaking to myself, guys. I have been sometimes the epitome of letting that be the babysitter. But when we start to really think about that future and the investment in it, we really start thinking about what are we doing? And Josh and I were like, you know what? Yeah, this is going to be hard. This is probably going to be another hard decision. And just like running for the Senate was the most exhausting energy exhausting thing we've physically too.
It was a good challenge, but it was definitely good. We put everything into it.
Yes, we did. But in everything we do, we put 100% in, you guys. And so anyways, we just realized that, you know what, nothing good in life comes easy. And I love to remind myself as we're thinking about, you know what, this is just a year that we're going to be over in Costa Rica. That is going to be a fleeting moment in time when we look back, but we're going to come back with Spanish. Our kids, we think that is such a huge thing nowadays as we look at our world, that they learn another language, because how do we love on other people? And it's showing that we care. So you guys, thanks for joining us and hearing our big news. I cannot wait now that we've kind of got the cat out of the bag of like, what is our next steps, what we're doing. And like I said, the passion for our state and country is the burden is even heavier nowadays. And that's why.
As great as ever. Yep.
Yeah. And that's why we're all about bringing families together, strengthening that nuclear family. And you're going to see a lot of that coming in the future as we start talking more about that, as we're building together. Again, back, before I was the one with Neil Life as he was corporate. Now, like we said, if you're just joining, he's
my podcast, I'll be coming back with that. And Chelsea will be joining me more often with the podcast. Some of you may follow me, Josh S. Clark Overcomers podcast. So you can be looking for that. Plus our social media channels. We're going to see a lot more coming from us in the days ahead. The next couple of weeks, we're pretty busy getting ready to leave for Costa Rica. But even then, I think you're going to be sharing, and I will the transformation of our property. But we need to wrap this up. I wish I could tell you more about some amazing things that have happening in our kids' hearts through all this, but I think that's a story for another time.
And I think it's going to be part of sharing our journey. Yeah. So God is
it's been
good.
Really encouraging to
it
see.
Has been.
But
so we can't wait to share this with you.
It's not all been like, yay, Costa Rica. It is right now. They're all excited, but there was some coming to terms with what that meant. And we'll share a little bit of that with you. It's been incredible walking that journey with our kids and the conversations we've had. Just like when I ran for U.S. Senate, we had some really great family meetings and discussions because a house divided against itself can't stand. You know, you have to listen to the family, you know, take all the input, discuss it, talk about it. And in the process, you all grow through it. So this has been the same. All right, we're going to quit sweating out here in the back deck. It's great preparation for Costa Rica, though, because it is hot year around, especially on the coast.
So if you see us over there, this is exactly how we're going to look, glistening and sweaty. It's a
T-shirts and shorts.
Yeah, it's a perfect intro into life in Costa Rica.
Thank y'all for doing life with us. Thanks for even caring to find out what we're up to. It means a lot. We know you love us. You're praying for us. It means a lot. Thank you for being a part of this adventure with us. Whether you're in our suitcase or you're just in our hearts.
Or you come visit us in Costa Rica on one of the mission trips that we plan to schedule.
All right. Love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.